It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Hello to all. Welcome to Divas That Care Network. I am Joyce Benning, and I will be your host for this invigorating, robust lifestyle show. Please check out our website, divasthatcare.com, and see all the amazing hosts and the incredible women they are interviewing around the world. I am just overly excited today to have a brand new diva with me, Stef Skupin, and she is going to speak about the spiritual dimension of animal communication. Oh, man, am I ever excited now. Stef, could you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself today?
Hi, Joyce. Thanks for having me. I am totally so excited about this. Okay, so my name is Stef Skupin, and originally I'm born in Germany, but I've lived lots of other places. So kind of, home is, home is where I am at the time, or really within myself. And I would like to feel like a global citizen. I feel like somebody, who belongs to the world rather than to one country. I don't know. What else would you like to know? Shall I go all the way about, this is what I do, and or do you want to continue asking questions, Joyce? How are we going to do?
We can just kind of take it from here. I love how you said you like to be present just from within, and you feel like you're a global person. That is just beautiful. So home is kind of all over the universe is what I am hearing, and I love that. That is cool. Very beautiful.
I love that too. It's like even when you repeat it back to me, I'm just having this expansion inside myself where I'm just it feels like I'm, expanding out into the night sky with all the stars. It just feels so nice.
Oh, that is beautiful. And you are so welcome for having you on my show. And it makes two of us that are just overly excited. I mean, just in your introduction alone, I'm going, oh my goodness, I just love this. I can just feel it. It is just going to be a lot of fun.
Well, okay, bring in the pressure. Here we go.
Well, tell us a little bit, the topic of the show today being the spiritual dimension of animal communication. Can you fill our listeners in a little bit more on what the spiritual dimension means in animal communication?
Yes. That's totally one of my favorite topics. So animal communication for me. So when I grew up, I like being around animals, of course, but there is I've never been taught to listen to them. So, the mainstream knowledge is they don't talk. They don't have the same intellect as us. They're governed by instincts. And so that's totally how I grew up. And then obviously also they're dependent on us. So we don't ask them. There is a feeling that when someone's dependent on you, it's there's somehow a little bit less than you. And so that's how I grew up with animals. And then I studied veterinary medicine, became a veterinarian, worked with animals. And then when I was living in South Africa, working in South Africa, I was introduced by Anna Breitenbach into animal communication, and she helped me deal with some behavior cases in my practice. So I saw how it worked and how efficient it was. And so I started to be interested in it and took my first courses and then took a long course. And it's and out of a sudden, and so the spiritual connection with it, it's Penelope Smith, who's a big, pioneer of it, especially in the States and all over the world. she says that if you want to connect with animals on that level, you have to see them as spiritual beings in their own right that are, and even just saying it again is making me tear up, It's like you have to see them as equal to us, as spiritual beings that are equal to us. And then you can begin to communicate with, And so for me, that's like, it's just opened up my whole experience of the world, because if there is that spiritual essence in animals that's the same as in me, then it's the same in trees. It's the same in the world. And so it's easier to practice seeing it in the natural world than it is to practice seeing it in people, because, people push our buttons quite hard.
Mm-hmm.
So, so that's for me is like part of that. You really got to, you look at animals in a different way, and that allows you to see your own spiritual essence like differently as well.
Oh, wow. It's almost like the animals are a mirror to us. You said you see our own spiritual, can go within ourselves by seeing the animals as an equal. And I can relate so well because I have the horses and my dogs, and I mean, they're almost, I feel they're so majestic to me, all of them are, because they just offer so much, and they have taught me so much. But you have to, I kind of feel, like you said, you have to treat them as equals, that they're not below you. I feel they're right beside me in this universe. We're all in the same, we're all under the same sky. We all breathe the same air.
Absolutely. And I just want to pick up something that you said, because so it's like treating them the same as ourselves, but also not, not below us, but also not above us, because that is actually the same thing. Like, so it's not, in a weird way, it's actually the same if we're saying, oh, this person is so much better than us, as saying this person is like so much worse than us. It's kind of making them not one with us. It's making them separate. So just to notice that, because a lot of people pull into that, like, oh no, I can't deal with how animals are treated. They're actually so much the better beings than us, and I think that's a trap also that we fall into.
Right. We treat them as equals. And they have so much to give. It's just incredible. Their energy that comes from them, you can just feel it. It is just beautiful. That's how I describe it.
It is. No, it totally is. And also it helps you, like when you do the animal communication, it's really training you to be present. And I'm sure you have the same, like with your animals. It's much easier to just be really present in the moment when you're with them. Like, when I have that experience, I had that working with horses. You really need to be with your horse to work effortlessly, to ride well, right? You really need to be in the moment.
Right. Oh, I totally agree. And I mean, even just riding, just being with them, I have felt so many times they are like, my phone dings or something. It's like, you're with us right now. Let everything else go and just be in the moment and love the moment that you're in, and the rest will wait. And that is something I have learned to start to do, and it makes such a difference. I feel so much more energized when I do it that way, rather than trying to do what so many of us humans think we have to do, is multitask all the time.
Right? Like multitask all the time and like feel good about it. It's such a currency that's like, I've worked like 9 hours today. It's like, of course you're going to say, hey, oh my goodness, that's amazing. Right?
Yeah, right.
And it's just interesting to see that. Yeah, my cat told me yesterday that they needed to be 3 of them in our house, like 2 cats and 1 dog, to make sure that I was taking enough moments out to be present.
Oh, that's cute. I love that. Well, what makes this cause with the animals and communication so near and dear to you, Stef?
What makes it so near and dear to me? I think what's really why it's because I'm looking for what's really so important to me is the freedom of understanding myself and being connected to my essence, like to a spiritual essence, and so I think they're teaching us in so many ways, or they're helping us on the path in so many ways. And like Gandhi said that the way society treats animals is an indicator of like society's spiritual evolution. Seeing that, like how they talk to us, and my first like real spiritual teacher, he's called Sri Ravi Shankar. He's a human rights activist, sits in the UN, and he's like super involved all over the world. And he says, when you are awake, the whole creation will speak to you. And so, like, when I started to listen to his teachings, I felt such relief in myself. I felt that I could be free of like other people's expectations, of my own expectations, free to really be who I am and connected. And I think like that, so that is what I love to, that's what I want to be, that's what I want to teach, that's how I want to work with other people. And I believe that, the human, like the reason why we are destructive of the planet and having such trouble getting along with each other, honestly, is because we don't feel that deep connection. Like in the Art of Living, with Sri Ravi Shankar, the greeting that we would say is, "I belong to you," and that is such a strange thing to say to somebody you've never met.
Yeah.
To look them in the eye and say, "I belong to you," and so we don't feel like we belong to this planet. We even classify ourselves as outside of nature, which is ridiculous. Like there's nature that's so much better than us, and there is us, and we're part of that. And this feeling of belonging, I think, is love. That is this spiritual love in its purest sense. So if we can really feel that, then I am part of you, and you are part of me, and there is no, I'm not going to hurt myself, so I'm not going to hurt this thing about me. It's no longer an option to do that.
Right.
And so for me, that talking with the animals and the world, it's just opening that sense of belonging all the time.
Oh, that's beautiful. And it sounds like it's the freedom of understanding yourself, your spiritual self, and bringing that out in more ways so you can help others too, is kind of what I'm hearing through what you're saying also.
Because it comes in like, this is how it's come to me, and the same thing, I can see it coming to other people. Like when I do the animal communications with people, I don't talk to them about the spiritual dimension, but like what's happening often is that issues just level out just a little bit, just because the animal feels seen. And the person is feeling a deeper sense of belonging. Like the animal often has felt that belonging, even though I think the belonging from the animal increases as well. Just feeling that, hey, my human's been asking how I feel. They're obviously interested. So that's like an appreciation of their being in the family. Now I forgot your question, Joyce.
No, you're fine. We were just kind of chatting about it. You very well covered why this is cause is so near and dear to you, what you are doing. I am just curious, was there a maybe an aha moment in your life that really made you realize how passionate you are about bringing about this type of animal communication to others?
An aha moment. I think it's like started. I think, okay. Well, you know what? To the latest aha moment. I've really enjoyed it. Like all the time. Every time I do it, I really enjoy it. I feel. I think it just opens up my heart, and but I'm trained as a veterinarian, so as a part of me is like is always going. You know, there's that one voice in my head that goes like, yeah, that's not really scientific. It's not really well recognized. It's not really like blah blah blah, whatever that is. So the latest aha moment was really. I have another business as well. I run like two businesses simultaneously, and that other business wasn't growing unless I put as much energy into the animal communication, or at least like I had to have it. So they're growing simultaneously. So like that was kind of the latest aha, going like, well, it's really important for me, and I have to learn about myself and go like, oh, this is where I'm not feeling good enough. Oh, this is where I don't trust the universe. And so it's bringing all these little pieces to me as well. Just like this interview with you today, right? I have as many interviews about the animal communication as I have about the leads work, like, helping medical professionals, feeling relaxed with like similar ways of working with them maybe, but it's just a different thing. It's more like, quote unquote, professional.
Right.
So the universe is just saying, hey, you got to keep that in there. It's not even a choice. It's like, you want to go anywhere? This is coming with you.
Oh, I love that. That is just beautiful. Well, that kind of brings me into another question on what are some of the other ways that animals can teach us different things?
So the way I know is that we learn, like animals hold like archetypal energies as well for us as humanity, in stories. Like, I mean, of course, I assume everyone's heard about the archetypes, like there's the archetype of the warrior, the hero, the wise woman, and the trickster, all of those. And so we learn as humans, through stories where those archetypes play a role, and, we can make sense out of in our own life regarding according to those stories, of the learnings of those stories. And so animals hold similar energies, and so you can access those energies when you work with spirit animals, or with like, and that like the person who's really pioneered that is Ted Andrews. He's no longer alive. He wrote a book called Animal Speak. Basically, he helps people get in touch with their spirit animals. And I think it's like a native Indian thing, and I think that's probably in indigenous peoples all over the world who have these stories of how animals are, part of their heritage. But especially the indigenous people in America, the animals are part of their creation myth, and so they hold these energies. That's when they're called grandmother or grandfather. And so, like, for example, if you go on a journey to ask for a spirit animal guide, then you might get like a bear, and that bear holds specific energies that will help you on your journey. Like for me, the bear has really held me, and because Mother Bear is a guide on the spiritual journey. It'll hold your spiritual journey. And then you can, when you allow that into your life, you can feel, imagine a grizzly bear-sized teddy bear that's there for you. Like if you really let that energy in, that's so powerful. So that's a way they can aid us in our lives. And I love facilitating those spirit animal journeys. And again, it's like going back out. Like if that's how you relate to the nature around you, it opens up another avenue of connection.
Wow. Oh, that is beautiful. Oh, I love how the bear has helped you on different ways. And do you feel different animals give off different energies? Is there different energies that come from different animals?
Absolutely. And there is for me, there is so many dimensions we inhabit. Or we can inhabit once you go like, okay, well, there's more than just this physical dimension. Then there's an emotional dimension, and then, a thought dimension where we often don't even see the physical around us. And then there is the dream dimension, visions. And so in depending on which dimension you are, obviously, everyone holds different energies. Like the dog that I have now, Mia, holds different energies than the dog that I had before, Roxy. So it's a personal thing, for one thing. And then there is the energy of dogs, like how are dogs? Like what's the overall characteristics? Like, so dogs really, they really enjoy life. So they're with us and they're wagging, like a dog's wag. It's just like that's quintessential what a dog is about, right? They bark at things that move into their territory. It's like, hey, this is mine. Back off. That's another dog energy, and then they're really loyal to that pack. They know who's in that pack, and then they also know where they belong. Like they say, dog knows their home ground. They don't. They have a territory, and this is where they are. And then cats have this connection to night. So there is, and the night, the darkness is where magic happens. Like the magic of creation, obviously the magic of the womb, and so cat is tied in with that, and then they also there is an energy of really being present, a little bit of a mischievous energy, and very, very agile, and then they're also a little bit tied to our shadow, because a lot of the time we don't know what they're doing in the middle of the night. So, and then birds have a whole other, birds have the connection to the sky, to space and the air, and a mastery of the sky and of flight. And there's birds that live on the ground. So there is that flight and also a connection to the ground. There's birds that fly especially high. So there is like this view of focus. This wide view and the ability to really focus as well at the same time. Then predators have different energies than prey animals, obviously. And when you look at those, then it's really interesting to look at this predator and prey relationship. And when you dive into that, and you're really interested and you amalgamate it, like take it into yourself, then life and death become more understandable. They become like it's not so much beginning and ending. It's a continuous process of change, and so it's easier to understand and easier to live with death, because it's part of, if the generations before us didn't die, we wouldn't be here. There would be no space.
Oh, how beautifully put, and how beautifully described the different energies in the different animals, that just the few that you mentioned. I love that. That was beautiful. That was a very
Thank
good
you.
explanation on it. Oh, that was just great. I mean, I even feel the different energies. I have 3 horses, and when I'll go out there, it's almost like the one that I need that day comes towards me right away. And then the others will kind of pass by, and or they'll wait, and then the one will leave and one will come again. And it's almost kind of like, okay, we sense what you're needing today, the energies, and they're each fulfilling that. And my dogs are a lot like that too. My little red healer, he's always with me. So he's I guess he adapts to whatever energy I need. I'm not sure, but he's always right there with me. We're best buddies.
Right.
But I
and
have
in that
really
way,
seen it in the horses.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
And I think everybody has seen it. As soon as you hear it, it's like everyone who's got animals, as soon as you hear this, you go like, yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
I can,
Mm-hmm.
It's like, they're in our lives as a relationship. And we know that our relationships are there to help us grow. I mean, that doesn't mean you have to stay in every relationship forever.
Mm-hmm.
But they are there for us. They're not there to torture us. Well, I mean, they are to torture us if torture is the only way we grow. But
Mm-hmm.
they help, and the relationship with our animals is just the same. So they're like, they're putting. If you have a problem with your animal, if there is a problem with your animal in your house, then that is for you to work through. It is your problem. You see it. You perceive it as a problem, and the animal is just there to show it to you. That is their job in that moment. And you can really bless them for that, and thank them for being that for you.
Oh wow, that is just beautiful. So they are showing you some of your own inner problems that you're needing to deal with, that maybe you have said, I have put them down, and the animals help bring them out, so you can deal with them and become that better person that you need to become. Oh, I love that.
Yes.
That is beautiful. Wow.
Just like your horse, like the horse that comes to you, the one you need that day. Yeah. Yes.
And it happens all the time. It's always a different one. And I have a mare that she's kind of attention and kind of not, but when she comes to me, I know there's a reason. She doesn't stay as long as the other two, but she's more, I'm down to business. Let's do what we need to do, and I'm on my way again. I just love that. I just love seeing all that and watching it. And yes, it is just beautiful. Well, Stef, this interview has just flown by. I mean, I have not gotten to near everything I wanted to chat with you about today to share with our listeners. And I want to ask you those, do you have some final tips or thoughts you would like to leave with our listeners today?
I would, if you have animals in your life, you know what? You have animals in your life. Everyone does. If you don't have your own, you'll find spiders in your house. You find mosquitoes. You find the birds outside. Whatever it is. Take some time to really see them. Take some time to really see them. Allow yourself to connect with them on a heart level and listen to them. You don't expect just hearing something like a whole story right away. But if you connect on a heart level, it's a meditation. It's a meditation with a beautiful mirror, and it'll just make you feel good. It'll just make you feel good.
Oh, that was just beautiful, because it just brought to me the thought of this morning. I was just out taking care of other animals, and I was just listening to the birds, and it was just such a soothing, relaxing feeling. But you have to just listen and just breathe. Listen and breathe and just relax and listen to them. Oh, that was beautifully put. I love that. What great final tips to leave with our listeners today, Stef. Well, Stef, I have to ask, will you please return to my show so we can continue and share more of your knowledge and understanding about animals and communication with them at another time?
Absolutely, Joyce. When I was thinking about this interview this morning in the shower. I was like, a really good podcaster for me, because I only can speak about me, a really good podcaster for me is someone who's like super appreciative, and you're so good at that. It's like,
well, thank you. I just love having you on my show. It is just so much fun. True joy to me and a learning too. I just love to share with you. This is great. Well, we will definitely bring you back onto Robust Lifestyles and let you share some more with us, Stef, at a later time.
That sounds fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for today, Joyce. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, you are so welcome, and that makes two of us that really enjoyed it. It was great. So I now want to thank all of our listeners for listening to this amazing new diva, Stef Skupin, and all of her animal communication knowledge. And as she said, she will be back on Robust Lifestyle Show. Please share this show with your family and friends, and be sure to check out all the other hosts and their amazing shows on divasthatcare.com. Have a fantastic day. Be kind to all. Give your animals that extra big hug and share your love with them. Until we connect again on Robust Lifestyles, stay strong and healthy.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.